Hello, everyone. Want to see the big destinations without paying a big price for them? What if I told you there's a way to explore these iconic cities without having to stay there while saving money and still getting a rich local experience? Let me introduce you to one of our favorite concepts when traveling. It's called the hub city. We've used this trick across Europe, and it might just change how you plan your next vacation. Let's go. Okay, so here's the trick. This is the thing you don't hear about unless you've been traveling for a while. A hub city is basically a smart base. It's not the biggest, flashiest destination like you see on postcards. It's a place nearby where real travelers stay. Think of it as your home base. It's usually cheaper, less crowded, and way more laid back, but it still puts you within easy reach of the big name cities or attractions you want to see. Even better, these places, real camera work, real live. Even better, these places often have their own vibe, their own stories. Okay, that's the most important, and their own food, and you wouldn't find them unless you step off the guidebook and actually try to find these cities. It's important. They're absolutely destinations. Once we figured that out, it was totally changed the way we plan our trips and how we planned our travel across Europe. So, what does that look like in practice? Let me show you. Let's start with Kilkenny. We spent a month there, and honestly, it's one of the smartest moves we made in the whole time we were traveling. Kilkenny is smack dab in the middle of Ireland, which means you can get to a lot of places fast. We used it as a home base to explore Waterford and Cork and a few smaller towns. One local even told us nothing in Ireland is more than 2 hours away from anywhere else. I don't know if that's exactly true, but it's not far off, especially if you've got a car. The bus system can get you cross country, but most train routes go to and from Dublin. So sometimes you'll be going through the capital to get anywhere else. But Kilkenny gives you options: east, south, even back up to Dublin if you need. And while you're based in Kilkenny, you have got castles and pubs and medieval streets, and it's a wonderful, wonderful community. And it's very laid back compared to, I'll just use an example, Dublin. It's very laid back, and it's hard to beat. It felt local and not sleepy. There's still plenty of things going on in Kilkenny. It gave us the breathing room to slow down and the access to explore bigger places when and if we wanted to. That's what a great hub city does. And then there was Antibes on the French Riviera. When we picked Antibes, the idea was the same. It was a base to explore the Côte d'Azur. You've got Nice, Cannes, Monaco, all within reach by train. But here's the thing. We barely left. We took 1 day trip to Grasse, which was great, but the rest of the time, we just soaked up Antibes. The people were friendly. The markets were vibrant. And the coast, well, coast is gorgeous. And there's so much going on in Antibes that we just stayed. Multiple market days, hidden alleyways, and the beach paths were fun. You name it. We didn't feel like we were missing out by not hopping around. And that's something else a good hub city does. Sometimes it's a springboard, and sometimes it's the whole damn show. Either way, you're in the region, saving money and living more like a local, less like a tourist. So why does the hub city strategy work so well? First, let's be honest, it's about the money. In Kilkenny, our first week cost us around $66 a night. After that, we found a way to stay longer for even less. Something that sometimes happens when you're already in a place and you connect with the local owners. In Antibes, we extended our stay and ended up paying $48 a night for a week and a half. You stretch those numbers out over a month, suddenly you're spending less than a lot of people pay for rent back home in a mid-sized city in the US while living somewhere amazing. Now, I should say, these were off-season prices and things definitely go up in the high season. But the principle still holds. Staying just outside the big name destinations usually means better deals. And especially if you're willing to stay put for a little longer, like longer stays in one location. And it's not just about the cost, because there's the other side. There's a pace to hub cities that makes things more enjoyable. In both Kilkenny and Antibes, we had space to breathe. Fewer crowds, less noise, and a rhythm that felt, human. We always had a calm, relaxed place to return to after a day of adventure, and that's, I think, a great asset. In fact, Lisa loved Antibes so much that she has started daydreaming about getting an apartment there. That's how connected we felt. Not just to the place, but the experience, and the experiences we were able to have by slowing down. So how do you actually pick a hub city? It's a balance between accessibility versus cost. You're looking for that sweet spot where you can live affordably and still get around easily. A great hub city usually checks 3 boxes. It's an hour or 2 away from a major destination, someplace you want to go to already. It has a solid transportation network, trains, buses, highway. And it's a place you'll enjoy even if you don't go anywhere. But here's the thing. Not every cheap place outside a major city will fit that bill. Early in our trip, we stayed in Almere, outside of Amsterdam. On paper, it looked great at about $74 a night, right on a beach. But it was the off season. It was cold. And while we had the basics, like a bed and a shared kitchen, the nearest grocery store was a 30-minute walk. And the train ride into the city added up fast because you paid each direction and there was no pass. Without a car, it just didn't make sense. That spot felt more like a remote suburb than a true hub. Ironically, the night we left Almere and went into the city, we stayed at a capsule hotel in the heart of Amsterdam for just $50. So being outside the city just doesn't always mean you're going to save money. The best hub cities offer real value, not just lower prices, but a livable experience and connection. That's the hub city strategy. It helped us travel smarter, save money, and actually enjoy the pace of the places we were visiting. Whether you're planning a long trip or trying to get more out of a short one, picking the right home base can totally change the experience. Have you ever done this? Stayed somewhere just outside the big name city and loved it more than the place you thought you were traveling for? Drop your favorite hub city or the ones you're curious about in the comments. We're always looking for new ideas. And hey, if you found this helpful, consider subscribing. We share more about budget travel, smart planning, and finding better ways to see the world. Thanks for watching. Did we do it a third time? The whole thing weird or just this one?
Just this one.
Should I do my best Captain Kirk?
No.
I can't talk like this. I'm Captain James T. Kirk.